Hello class, it's Mr. Austin. I'm back with the hat and let's go ahead and get into today's lesson. Don't forget to get down your objective. We're going to be dividing whole numbers by fractions and we're going to be using models to do that, similar to what you did in yesterday's lesson. Alright, let's go over some key words that you're definitely going to have to understand in order to get through this video. This should be a review. Dividend is the number being divided, and the divisor is the number you are dividing by. All right, so if we look at this example, 8 divided by 3/4, 8 would be my dividend because that's what I'm dividing up, and 3/4 would be my divisor because that represents either the number of groups I'm making or the number that goes into each group, just depending on the type of division that we're doing. If you remember in yesterday's lesson that Ms. Juhan made. All right, let's look at our very important content number 1. One of the main things I want you to get from this video is that visual models can be used to solve division problems involving whole numbers and fractions. All right, our definition number 1 is a fraction bar. All right, that's the type of visual representation we're going to be using throughout this video. A fraction bar is a visual representation of a division problem. All right, I'm not going to keep this up too long because you guys can pause the video at this point and go back and get this, but these are the steps to making a fraction bar model. All right, I'm about to show you 3 examples of how to use the fraction bar models to solve division problems. So go ahead and pause the video at this point and go ahead and jot down these 6 steps because you're definitely going to need them for tomorrow's lesson when we're in class. All right, let's look at our first example. Example 1 is that 12 divided by 3/4. All right, so if we look at our steps to solving, to making a fraction bar model, step 1 says to draw a fraction bar. Now class, a fraction bar is as simple as just a rectangle, just a basic rectangle. All right. Step 2 says that we need to divide our fraction bar into parts according to the denominator of our divisor. All right, so our divisor is 3/4, and the denominator is 4. So we want to divide this fraction bar into fourths. And you want to make them as equal as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, step 3 says to shade in the number stated in the numerator of the divisor, where again, this is my divisor. Here's the numerator 3. So I want to shade in 3/4. All right. And step 4 says to label the 3/4 the number of your dividend. And if you notice, all we did here was made a fraction bar that makes 3/4. This is 3 out of 4. All right. Now we have to use division to determine what is the value of each part. Well, I can think to myself, if 3/4 are equal to 12, that must mean that each part is equal to 12 divided by 3. And when we do that, we get 4. So that means that each fourth is equal to 4, and our entire fraction bar is equal to 16, and 16 is our quotient. All right, because that's what we were trying to find. All right, so 12 divided by 3/4 equal 16. All right, let's look at another example. example number 2 is 15 divided by 1/3. Again, I just make a basic fraction bar. All right. I'm going to divide it into thirds. All right. And I'll only need to shade in 1/3. And I label that 1/3 15. All right, so now I have to determine how much is each third equal to. Well, this one is pretty easy because we shaded in 1/3 and we know it equals 15, which means that each third must equal 15. So 2/3 would be 30, and 1/3 would equal to 45. And that is my quotient. So 15 divided by 1/3 is 45. All right. Let's look at one more example, and this is going to be a word problem. This is example 3. And sorry, it erased a little bit, but it'll be all right. All right, example 3. Henry bought 4 pies for his friends. If there was exactly enough to give each member of the group 1/6 of the pie, how many people are in the group? All right, so we should be able to recognize that what Henry has is 4 pies. All right, he's dividing those 4 pies into 1/6 pieces. And our problem is to determine how many pieces can he serve. All right, again, just like we were doing in examples 1 and 2, I just make a fraction bar. This time, I'm going to divide it into 6. All right, so that's 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and then 6/6 makes 1 whole. And I'll just shade in one of those 6 and we label it 4. All right, again, this one is just like example 2. It's pretty easy to determine how much is each 6th worth because we have right here that 1/6 equals 4. So we can just continue to add 4 each time. So 2/6 would be 8, 3/6 would be 12, 4/6 would be 16, 5/6 would be 20, and then 6/6 would be 24. And there's our quotient. All right. So 4 divided by 1/6 equals 24. All right. Let's look at example 3 another way, talking about Henry and his pies. All right. Sometimes you can just make a picture to make math make sense. So let's look. Henry has 4 pies, right? He has 1 pie, 2 pies, 3 pies, 4 pies. All right? And he's going to give each person at his party 1/6 of a pie. So we can divide each pie into 6. And they're not totally equal, but that's because I'm drawing it, so it's not going to be perfect. But if we notice, if he does divide each of those 4 pies into 6 slices, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 slices. All right. Remember to bring your notes in tomorrow during class, and we're going to do some practice problems in class, both as a group, and you'll do them individually. All right, just like we did in examples 1, 2, and 3. All right, class. See you tomorrow.